Hello, hello. Let's lower that down. Hello, 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 hello. Ah, give on my headphones. Alrighty. Hello, hello, hello. I was playing Ratchet and Clank last week. I think on Friday, Friday or Monday, and I got through, I believe, the first 3 worlds. And now we're gonna go ahead and see if I can progress and go a little bit farther today. I've got. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, let me switch scenes here really quick. Oh, we got there. Oop, there we go. All right, cool. Hello. I have Ratchet and Clank here. I was playing it. I'm gonna continue my playthrough from last week. I'm gonna go ahead and see, what world are we on? Were we on Kerwin still? We're still on Metropolis, I think. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna continue from there. I'm gonna see if we can go ahead and I can hit a world or two after, and I think I'm gonna call it. But yeah, I've been meaning to play Ratchet and Clank. I started playing the game. Last week because I was intending on trying to beat it, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna try to see if I can at least stream it, and I can try to make some at least some like stuff with my VTuber model. So here we go. I'm gonna continue again from where we were at. I believe. Bop. Okay. Sorry about that. We're gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna kill these guys so I can get a couple more bolts. I think we're done with everything on this planet. Yeah, we're done with everything on this planet. I'm not gonna look for any gold bolts or anything like that right now, not yet. Um, there might be a couple that I might remember from memory that I might just want to get just because they might seem a little bit easy. But there's a couple later on in the game that are just harder because you need either certain weapons or you need certain upgrades that we just don't have yet. So anyway, I've gotten everything that I wanted, to be honest. Unless I want to drop down here. Can I drop down here? Is this where I can drop down? Yeah. Gold bolt. It's weird. There's a gold bolt here. I was gonna say I don't think there's like a taxi or anything. Like I have to like jump off or something so that I can I can go back to where I was to my ship. But during that animation, I think I saw the I think I saw the taxi. Yeah, it's right there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, because I mean, there's boxes, there's crates and stuff here, so I'd imagine like I'm supposed to be here, you know? It's weird in Ratchet and Clank 1, at least, when you enter the taxi in game, you can't jump. I don't think you can walk around or move in it. Let me see. Yeah, no, I can't. Oh, no, yeah, I can't. Once it starts moving, but I can't jump or anything like that. In the later Ratchet and Clank games, I know in Ratchet and Clank 2, I believe you can jump, and I think you can actually jump off. But I'm not too sure. Once I'm done with Ratchet and Clank 1, I would really like to play Ratchet and Clank 2. Then I want to go ahead and see if I can go ahead and I can hit all of them in order. Now, for Ratchet and Clank 3, for Up Your Arsenal, I'm debating because I actually have the Japanese copy of the game, and it's in much better shape than the regular version that I have because there's actually a scratch on it that actually messes with one of the worlds. Like it just catches me in a loop, and I can't sadly just get past it or anything, which is a little unfortunate. Oh, my model's a little messed up. Let me fix this really quick. Let me fix this really quick. Snap back to reality. There we go. My monitor right now. I'm playing on my PS2. I've got my main monitor, which is technically a TV, and I'm actually just watching it in front of me. Also, I have to confess, I actually can't hear the audio in the game. I've played this game enough Like I've played this game like so many times that I know what's happening, and I'm pretty sure I can turn on subtitles, which I might do. But if I do have to, my sound system that I have, it has audio out like in the form of a headphone jack. So if I get if I get a like long enough cable or something, I can get audio that way. But right now I just have it in my Elgato, or not my Elgato, one thing, my my Blue Yeti, just so I can hear myself. I sound okay, but to be honest, like I can't dial in the settings on the Blue Yeti. You'd think because it's a USB mic, it's just plug and play, and for the most part it is, but there's still work that you got to do, so you can go ahead and you can at least, you know, make your voice sound good. Like, I don't think it's I feel like I sound tinny. Not only that, but it's also picking up my background noise and stuff. My mic is like right next to my computer, and for some reason, well, no, I know why. It's using a cheap power supply, and the fan on that one I know for sure is like very loud. I gotta replace it. The next upgrade I do to my computer, I am getting a new power supply, because technically this power supply is secondhand, but it works. And if it works, it works. But I will need to replace it. I gotta replace that, and I'd like to get a new motherboard if I can. Boom. What missions do I have? Okay. I believe this is nothing. That's a dead end. uh, what I really love about Ratchet and Clank, the first game, is there's a lot of branching paths. And as you get later into the games, if you like progress to like the later Ratchet and Clank games, some worlds will have one branch, maybe two, but for the most part, it turns more and more linear, and it kind of damn it. It kind of sucks because the later that you go on, uh, it's just more and more linear. And it makes sense because if you look at like the times like these games were released and everything, they were basically done back to back. They were all done back to back in pretty much a year. So thankfully, like, you know, the game devs, they have their engine to work on. So it's just a matter of making new assets and just dropping them in. Because really, Ratchet and Clank 1, 2, and 3, they feel like almost the exact same game with just a couple minor like tweaks here and there. New UI here, new characters, new worlds, but for the most part, like they all feel like it's like the same universe, like kind of like expansions almost, I would say. And I think I was watching this guy. It was the Gaming Brit Show. Yeah, the Gaming Brit Show. And I mentioned him in my last episode because I know he did a lot of videos on the 3 Ratchet and Clank games. And let me get this really quick. He mentioned when he was doing Ratchet and Clank 3, his video on Ratchet and Clank 3, and how that game specifically was very rushed, and Insomniac, what they did, wait, okay, no, there's nothing else up here. In an effort to appease, like, I think Sony, there was like a deal that they made. Sony wanted more online games, and so what they did was they spent a lot of time in Ratchet and Clank up your arsenal to make a 3D world. Sorry, 3D world. What am I saying? To make a multiplayer online like bits in the game. So there's like the maps and everything for multiplayer, and there's like arenas that you can do, and then just other stuff like that you can play with other people in. But what's weird is what the game devs did is because they spent so much time on that, they didn't have enough time to make like actual branching levels like they have here, like big ones. And so what they resorted to doing was taking the levels that they had made, the maps and everything for the multiplayer, and just make it for single player. And so you more often than not, you would have sections in the game where you like maybe land on a planet, you do something on one branching pattern, and then you end up on an arena where you have to do like a bunch of like, you know, boss battles and stuff, like just arena stuff like over and over and over again. And that's pretty much how you spend most of your time in the game. Maybe there'll be a break from that, like after you're done with it you have to go do something else, like the second half of the regular level, or like a boss battle. And I know what they do too is on 3 there's a big hub, there's the ship that you're in the game, the Phoenix, and I think that's where like it connects it, and I think makes it a little bit better, just because it's like, oh, it's a big hub where you can do a lot of stuff in it, instead of like the other games where it makes you feel like you're accomplishing, I would say, like maybe accomplishing everything faster by just hopping to different worlds, like one after the other, instead of having to come back to your base, play a cutscene, do something here, and then go back. But yeah, it's a shorter game, and it's more linear, and I liked it. My preference, like my favorite game in the series, is definitely Ratchet and Clank 2, just because that's the game that I grew up playing. I really loved Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. I did like it. I did like it. Going Command, is what I was gonna say. Sorry, I had Ratchet and Clank 3 on my mind. Nothing here. That's weird. It looks like there's something here. I like that there's like dead ends and like just paths that lead you nowhere. Like it makes it feel like this world is like legit, because everything seems like unplanned. It does kind of suck not being able to hear right now though the actual game, because sometimes it's hard to know when I've been hit. So I could be going, and I won't know until later that one more hit means that I have to restart from the beginning of my checkpoint. I don't know where the other guy went. The person just stayed here. No, oh, that's it. That's it from B. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I could have jumped up here. Wait, can I jump up here from here? Can I get on this tree? Oh no, I don't think I can. Strike it. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that did it. I was trying to like run and jump to see if that would work, a long jump, but no, I had to do it in place. Hopefully there's some nanotech up here. Shit. I don't think there's a continue. I don't know why, what it is about. Ah, I didn't see that. Okay, cool. There was a continue here. I don't know what it is about Ratchet and Clank 1, but I feel like its continues are a little bit like they suck. The continues in this game suck. They don't tell you when you've hit a continue, and they're like at very weird spots in the game. I think the continues in like Going Commando work and Up Your Arsenal, they're more fair, and they tell you, okay, you've just hit a continue point, so you don't gotta stress too much. Oh, okay, and I made it back here. Okay, so this isn't bad. This isn't bad. Okay. I died earlier. Da 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 da. Ooh. Oh yeah. Boom. Ah, that's where this was. That's where the nanotech was. We haven't gotten to Blackwater City yet, but I'm not gonna do it tonight. I think I might do it later. I might cheat a little bit. I'll exploit the game, because I don't have a Game Shark for PS2. Although I could just download a copy. This PlayStation 2's mod chip. There is an exploit in the game where when you go to Blackwater City, that's where you have the your first hoverboard race minigame. But if you have what weapon is it? It's the weapon, the taunter or something like that, where you can taunt your enemies and stuff. You get it from a different planet, but if you use it you equip it the moment that you get on a hovercore before like the game starts. You basically glitch out and you can walk around like as Ratchet instead of being on the hoverboard. And basically what you have to do is you have to walk all the way to this specific spot in the game, like in the track and everything, where there is like just a row, like one of those just like a hanging thing, like when you're in your hoverboard and everything, you can crash into, and it's holding a bunch of crates. And basically, you can go ahead and you can use the taunter. I don't know how, but you use the taunter, you just launch it, and they break infinitely. So unless you walk away, if you walk away and they're gone, like they're gone. And I don't think it works if you go back. So it only works if you do it like in one go. And I remember it took me like I think an entire day to get enough bolts to get the Rhino, which is the most powerful weapon in the game. And if you have the Rhino, it makes the final boss battle in the game a lot easier. But to be honest, I think in this game you're able to get more bolts. There might be a multiplier. I'm not too sure. I haven't. I'm gonna be real. I've never played this game or beaten this game in New Game Plus. I prefer to replay the story. I know Ratchet and Clank Going Commando and Up Your Arsenal. I've done the New Game Pluses on there like a bunch of times, but not one. It wasn't until recently that I started playing one a lot more. Thank you. Wasn't there supposed to be a cutscene here? Did I miss it? Wait, what the heck? Oh no, no. That was a boss battle for a second. I'm pretty sure I think it's over here. Yeah, this is where I'm gonna meet the lieutenant, and then I'm pretty sure we never see him again. That's not the music that's playing at this level, I think. This game has an incredible soundtrack. I love it. It's very cinematic. Much better than the actual cinematic soundtrack that they used in every Ratchet and Clank past A Crack in Time. I know that's after A Crack in Time. That's when they replaced the musician for this game. He did an incredible job, but from what I understand, I think the last soundtrack that he did was not as good as his previous works. And I think honestly, it does kind of suck. The peak, and it sucks that I have to say it, but I feel, at least in my opinion, the peak Ratchet and Clank is this. This is the peak. Maybe the sequel to the PS4 game, if it is considered a sequel to that, the one that's gonna come out on PS5. I don't know if that one might change things. It does look pretty good, but I don't have a PS5, so I can't play it. I don't particularly care too much as I love Ratchet and Clank. But pretty much every Ratchet and Clank game past Going Commando is pretty much just oh, thank you, is a third-person shooter with some platforming elements. But this game, like straight up, is just, I mean, you can really consider this just a 3D platformer, because that's mostly what you're doing. It's a 3D platformer, and you have some weapons, but like that's not the main focus. Although there is a lot of variety, and eventually you get to the point where it overcompassed everything. You need a Gadgetron. Nope, not available on this planet, so I have to go somewhere else. Get out of the way. Thank you. So I'm also planning on trying to see if I can speed run this game. So I haven't changed the camera settings. I'm kind of fighting with the camera. I'm used to being able to move it by pointing the analog stick where I need it to go instead of it being inverted how it is right now. Wait a second. Oh, yeah. I'm supposed to go back here. Okay. I was about to say. I know it said there isn't a trespasser on this planet. It's like, okay, next planet. No. Like this game, Ratchet and Clank 1, there's a lot of backtracking. Or not a lot of it, but it happens sometimes. And it's pretty good. It helps world building because, you know, you go back to another world that you were previously at and you get to see another part of it. Instead of, you know, like starting with Ratchet and Clank 2, you know, there's still, you know, branching paths, you know, to give you like more exploration around the worlds and stuff. But once you explore a world, or once you go into a world, you explore it pretty much once, and then you just move on to the next one. Like, you don't go back. I mean, maybe you might go back for like, you know, extra stuff if you're trying to like complete it, but not really for not really because you need stuff that's like critical. Although I'll admit, I believe this might be the only critical thing that we need. Everything else is kind of optional. There's something else in this world that's optional. The the helmet. I don't know what it was called, but the helmet to get the, I don't know, the robot mice to follow you, the rats or something like that. And those help you get like bolts that. Oop, you can shoot these. Yeah. To help you get the bolts that aren't available. You need those things to get them. This thing sucks. Okay. The aim does suck though. Some weapons, it's weird. Some weapons have like a good auto aim, and then others are just bad. Like you gotta like be able to see your enemies and point it. That's why I do like the oops sorry. I like I definitely like how weapons handle and like how combat is in later Ratchet and Clank games. Like you can strafe right out the bat and everything, and that's very helpful. But you know, with that stuff, you know, it's more weapon based instead of actually being focused on 3D platforming. There's still 3D platforming in Ratchet and Clank, but there's a lot less of it on every single game after this one. I like it. Yeet. Ooh. I think it's this bit. I don't know why, but the slingshot mechanic. Um, I don't know what the range is that they're supposed to like work, but the range here is much bigger than in the other games. Like I think there's a bit here where they're close enough that if you jump in the right spot, like I think for example here, I'm not gonna do it because I don't know where the continue is, but I feel like with these, if you jump somewhere else, like if you're closer to that one, it could activate. Oh damn it, damn it! I did it by accident. I like oh I see it started from the beginning. But like if I'm close enough, it might trigger another one. In fact, I don't even have to wait to go down. I can just hit them. Like see, I can do it from all the way back there. I didn't even move that far. I can do it from here. That one is not working. Okay, that's weird. That one wasn't working. I feel like I'm close enough that it would work. It might depend on how I'm pointing it to. Yeah. Whoo! Like see? Yeah, it's more lenient. In the other Ratchet and Clank games, like they're farther apart, or the way they work is much different. Like you have to specifically be at a certain spot. Why was that there? Could I just walk to it? Unless this bridge is supposed to fall off. No, it's not. Oh yeah, that's weird. In these early Ratchet and Clank games, you have to equip all your gadgets, but I know like in Ratchet and Clank 3, I think it's starting with that game. It's like, oh, okay, you have the gadget. All right, perfect. Just hit the button and you can do the mini game. You don't need to equip it, which I think is kind of weird. It makes me feel like doing that. It makes uh like the concept of gadgets kind of useless. It's like okay, I collect gadgets, sure, but I mean, if I'm not supposed if I don't have to equip them, what's the point of like having them as gadgets as like a separate thing on my menu or something that I can even like put on my scroll thing, my weapon select. Kind of weird. Okay, well I got that. Let's go back. Let's confront the robot lieutenant. Boom, 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 boom. Playing around with my different expressions. Unfortunately, I don't have oh shit. I don't have a good enough webcam to do like the automatic expressions and stuff here in VC Face, which does kind of suck. I would prefer to be able to do it with like just the tracking and everything, like do my own expressions. But granted, the expressions that I have with this model and stuff, they're kind of weird anyway, so I guess it kind of works out. I have my stream deck anyway, so I can just hit the buttons. Even though I do have a mini stream deck, it works. That is like barely enough clearance. Hold on, it's warping, texture warping. There's a lot of texture warping in this game. Kind of like reminds me of the PlayStation 1 warping, kind of. Except it's not the actual models that are warping, it's the actual textures. The range. I never understood how it can get that big. Why didn't they just make the screw smaller? Also, it looked... I just realized, I don't think I was screwing it in. I was unscrewing. Oh, okay, that was stupid. Okay, yeah, that was better. No, the other one was stupid. I could have, like, missed that one. Okay, I gotta wait for this one to go up high. Okay, there we go, that's enough. If I did it lower, I'm pretty sure I would have missed it. Yeah, it looked like I was unscrewing it, unless I'm dumb. I'm pretty sure I was unscrewing it. Can I? Oh, yes, I can. I can switch one, but double tapping triangle on here still. I like these puzzles, but as it goes on, there's a couple that actually are kind of hard. There we go. The lieutenant's here. Let's look at his default pose. Yeah, shooting. He's like kind of T-posing. He's stretching. The animations are kind of weird. When like the default ones when they're waiting. He had a very menacing face, Ratchet. The heck? Just looked at my model. My eyes were going a little crazy. Yeah. I wear glasses. I'm gonna pull the curtain back a little bit. I wear glasses, and I feel like that conflicts with the tracking a little bit. So I know before early on, I would stream sometimes without glasses, and that works. The problem is I still need to see. I mean, I can get up closer to my monitor, but if we're like doing text-based stuff or stuff that needs details, I forget about it. I still need to see. Ooh, the chicken model. I gotta stretch really quick. Gotta get his dirty hands on them gadgets. Yeah, Ratchet's got big hands. He's got yaoi hands. Damn big ass hands to grip his wrench. I'm pretty sure in Ratchet and Clank, the PS4 game and the movie game, like he's got smaller hands. Seeing him with gloves like this looks alright, but if you play the spin-off, the Secret Agent Clank, he's in prison for some reason, and he doesn't wear gloves. It's weird. It's weird seeing Ratchet without gloves. Now, technically, it's up to you if you want to consider that canon, because the game was made by a third party, was made by a company other than the originators, not by Insomniac. It was High Impact Games. Let's get out of here. Let's get some ammo. I got some great bargains for you. Ratchet and Clank 1 is weird in that when you're at the Gadgetron vendors, you have to actually select how much of everything you want individually, which is kind of weird. It's at least weird to me, because I started playing Ratchet and Clank 2 Going Commando, and that one I would say is a little bit more refined, uh, because every Ratchet and Clank game that came out after Going Commando was built on top of like Going Commando, if that makes sense. Like the strafing is there, the weapons, like the emphasis on weapons, and then the vendors and stuff. When you're actually buying stuff, it's I think it's starting with Up Your Arsenal actually, but with Going Commando, you still have to go to each weapon individually, but you can just choose to it defaults to like buy max, and if you want to just buy specific ammo and stuff like a certain amount, like you can do that, but you have to go to each weapon individually, and I think and do that. And I think with Up Your Arsenal, there's a button that basically just tops you out. All right. By the way, if anybody's interesting on how I'm actually playing this, I'm using a Retro Tink 2X. I just bought stuff.
Hi there, Fuzzball.
Let's get the Taunter. This is cheaper. Yeah. Is it gonna show me how to use it? It's gonna come with a cutscene. No, it doesn't. What was my train of thought? I lost my train of thought. The train has left the station. Chugga chugga, choo choo. Okay, I remember. I was talking. I'm playing this game. I'm playing this game on my PS2, since emulation for PS2. It's getting better, but I don't think my computer can play it. Also, for some reason, if you emulate Ratchet and Clank 1 on the PS2 emulator, like it plays, the performance is worse compared to the other Ratchet and Clank games. The other Ratchet and Clank games, like they play like much better. But yeah, and I'm playing this on my PS2, and I'm using a Retro Tink to actually get this to HDMI, and it's going into my Elgato. Also, want to apologize really quick. I have I have my headphones plugged into my Elgato, so I can hear what I sound like. To be honest, I don't sound that good. But also, it's kind of late where I'm at right now. I kind of just wanted to stream because I had everything ready to stream, and I wanted to play some Ratchet and Clank before I go to sleep. But my household is already asleep, so I'm trying to be energetic, and to come out like as clearly as I can. But it is bedtime hours for everybody in the house, so I wanna still be quiet. There's only so much my paper thin walls can cover up. So I do apologize for that. I hope next time that I stream, I can stream a little earlier in the day. My hours at work are gonna be changing soon. At my job, I was working a title that was exclusive to the position. Well, it was a job specific title that I had because of the the way the job was. That makes sense. Unfortunately, the section that the job is, it's no longer going to be around, and so thankfully my employers have given me the opportunity to transfer to another part of the company. And while I have pretty much everything in order, I don't know exactly how much money I'm going to be making because I'm going to be getting a small pay cut. But it could be a lot worse if I decided to do everything on my own my my without any help from my employers. I would have definitely be making less money than I'm making right now. I'm working a part-time job, and for part-time, the minimum wage here in Arizona is like $12. I'm making considerably more than that, which is insane. I'm very happy about that, and the fact that these people were able to work with me is fantastic. But yeah, not everything is set in stone. I start in a couple weeks on this new position, which makes me pretty excited. But at the same time, I am a little like, I don't know what the word is. I feel not conflicted, but it's gonna be a weird feeling because because of the pandemic, unfortunately, a lot of the stuff that we did at my job pretty much stopped, and we essentially we were able to work with what we had, and we were able to make stuff work still, but we weren't able to do much. We were basically dead in the water, and it was very, very unfortunate. But we were able to do stuff still in a couple months, and that's really what matters. You know, people recognize the stuff that we did, and that was good. But unfortunately, yeah, we're not going to be able to do the stuff that we were doing before. But now that I'm switching over to a new position, that's technically a position that's beneath me. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's the right way of saying it. Technically, I got a demotion. Is what I'm trying to say. Technically, it was a demotion, but that was basically the only way I can remain at where I'm at. So I took it, and it's not that much of a pay cut. And other than that, it's still part time, unfortunately. But I do have the potential of making more money because I can work more hours because there was a cap. So very, very excited. To start, I'd be working and doing a lot more things that I was doing in the last that I have not been able to do since the pandemic. So I'm excited. Hopefully, I'll start in a week, and hopefully, I won't miss a pay period. If I miss a pay period, I may be screwed, but I don't think it matters too much because so what if I can't pay a bill or two? Like that's their problem, not mine. Oops, sorry, I don't have any money. It's like, oh, sir, we need you to pay. We need you to pay this. Okay. Well, I don't got any money, so I don't know what y'all want me to do. Oh shit. I don't know what y'all want me to do. But yeah, that's gonna be fun shit. Yeah, this like I said, I mentioned earlier, I played Ratchet and Clank. Shit. Damn it. So I gotta do this. I played Ratchet and Clank 2, Going Commando first before I played Ratchet and Clank 1, and it was a big disconnect because there is no strafing, which makes some combat harder, but also the scroll wheel here. I was so used to, like in Ratchet and Clank 2, when you do it, when you hit it, it pauses and lets you like pick a weapon. I think in Ratchet and Clank Going Commando there is an option to disable it, and so it can be like this, but in this game there is no such thing. You basically have to do it while you're doing stuff, so you can literally be in, you know, like a bunch of enemies trying to like hit you and attack you and everything, and you're forced to scroll through the weapons. The only way that you can avoid this is if you pause the game and you just go to your weapons and select them that way. That way you can pause and you can avoid being pelted. But it's just a small little thing coming from another game. Which, by the way, I actually uh, it's funny. I think I might have had a friend either went to the same place or it was just a coincidence. But I started. I first started playing Ratchet and Clank at my dentist of all places. I went to this dentist and they had a little kiosk that was. It's kind of like one of those one of the things that they had at like the McDonald's fun lines and everything, like at the little playgrounds and everything, like they would have PlayStations, N64s, PlayStation 2s. It's like a little kiosk with a monitor. I know a lot of stores like had them for demos and stuff. So basically, the doctor had one. He had a PS2, and I would play whatever game was there. And most of the time, sometimes there would be different games, but most of the time was Ratchet and Clank, and I would play Ratchet and Clank all the time. They had Ratchet and Clank 2, and I was still very young at the time. When I first got exposed to it, I actually um, I never paid attention to the titles. I don't know if it was a problem with me not being able to read them or not. I didn't get it. I couldn't read it. It could have been just because it was blurry on the CRT too. He might have had an uncalibrated CRT, and I never paid attention to what game I was actually playing. My uncle, he had a PS2, and he was very gracious enough. He gave it to me, and I had his PS2 and I had a couple games that he bought, and a few games that he actually bought for me so I can play them. And I wanted to go get more PS2 games. I think this is like 2000 and honestly I want to say 2006, 2007 maybe. Um, or actually, you know what? I don't even think he gave me the PS2 yet. Yeah, no, he did give me the PS2 yet. I bought the game. So yeah. Okay, okay. This makes sense now. I'm pretty sure I was still young enough at the point. This might have been maybe kindergarten or first grade, and I didn't know how to read well that yet. So I think I didn't know which Ratchet and Clank game I had, and my uncle had the PS2, and so I wanted to play. What the heck? I came back. What the heck? I had a. I was able to convince my mom to let me buy a game that I can go ahead and I can play on his PlayStation. Okay, so I was supposed to be up here. And when I went there, at this point, I think it's already. I think Ratchet and Clank 3 had already come out, and I think that game was already. Shit. I'm pretty sure that game must have already been greatest hits, because that or I just happened to see it there. But I wanted to play Ratchet and Clank. I wanted to play that game from the dentist on my uncle's PS2, and eventually, I convinced my mom to try to see if I can get a copy. And Walmart had a bunch of them. They were all greatest hits, and I can just I'm pretty sure because I'm pretty sure Up Your Arsenal was already greatest hits because I'm pretty sure I remember all three of the Ratchet and Clank games were greatest hits. I'm pretty sure I don't know what year Deadlock came out, but I'm pretty sure it was the year that Deadlock either had barely come out or had just been there for like a few months. And like I said, I couldn't read. I didn't know which game it actually was. And so thankfully I made the smart decision. I guessed right based on the cover. The cover alone. And I'm like, you know what? This game, with this weird Ratchet on it and everything, this is probably it. And I was right. I did pick Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. If I picked another version of Ratchet and Clank, I don't think I would have been disappointed, but I'm like, oh, okay, this wasn't the game. I'm pretty sure this must have been like what a $20 or $40 game because it was greatest hits. So I'm assuming it was like at least a $20 or $40 game. But yeah, no, I'd play that. But the thing is, my uncle never bought a memory card, and I never bought him one either. So whenever I would go to his house and play games, I could never save. And it was the same thing because he was at my grandma's house. And when my grandma was at a different house that they were at before, he had a PS1. And he actually gave me this PS1 too. And he didn't have a memory card. He didn't have any games either. And by the time I got the PS1, you couldn't really buy games, you know, at like actual stores anymore. And I'm pretty sure the majority of the game stores that I went to, because it was just GameStops, and this is early 2000s, so they had EB Games here too. They were their own store before they got bought out by GameStop. And EB Games might have had PS1 games, because I know they had Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. But I never paid attention to PS1 games, and I think Fallout games was still, I'm pretty sure it must have been around in the early 2000s, like these local mom and pop shops. I don't know why I say that like that. And oh man, if I'd known about these stores, that would have been absolutely fantastic. Because I did get into retro gaming and everything, and just the regret. Had I known about this stuff earlier, had I had enough money, had I been older, I probably would have gotten into I would have had more video games, and I would have gotten all this stuff a lot cheaper. I remember there was a store that I went to in LA, and there's this video game store. They had video games. They were so cheap. They had like video games for every system up until the PS2 that they had for like I think $3 a piece, and it was anything. And there's this one game that I passed up on that I do regret passing up on, although it's not a big loss now that I think about it, but it's just something that I do think about. Um, I unfortunately passed up an opportunity for a rare, uncommon Dreamcast game. Uh, I think when the Dreamcast was launched, this might have been a soft launch or something, or I think after. I think Sega made a deal with Hollywood Video where you can rent Dreamcast systems and you get a demo of a demo of Sonic Adventure, and it was a trial version, I believe. The trial version, or it was something. It might have been the Hollywood Video version or something, or Holiday. It was something edition, and you couldn't buy those. Those were just for if you rented out a Dreamcast for like a weekend. And I missed. I saw them there. There was so many copies, and I didn't grab it. And I think now it goes. It's not so much. I think that it's. I think it might have gone for a lot of money back once people knew. But I think now, I don't think it's a game that's like worth a lot. It's just uncommon. Uh, and it's funny. But I did end up buying because I went there a couple of times, like within like a month or so. Because we as a family we were all traveling. I picked up. I tried in vain to find a copy of Game Shark for the PlayStation 1. And the reason I was doing that was because I found out that if you have the disc version of Game Shark for PS1, you can use it to play import games or backup games that you burn on a disc. And I just thought about it right now as I'm telling this story. My dumbass, because I wanted to play Mega Man Legends. And I just realized, why didn't I just look for Mega Man Legends instead of going through the effort? I have a copy of Mega Man Legends now. In fact, I have 2 copies of Mega Man Legends. But that's just something that I thought about right now. Why didn't I look for it? And now that I'm thinking about it, if I did more research, why didn't I just buy all 3 of them? Why didn't I buy Mega Man Legends? Why didn't I buy Misadventures of Tron Bonne? And why didn't I find Mega Man Legends 2? And it was very unfortunate. It had been a couple years since I'd been back to that store, and the last time that I went, which was 20... I want to say 2016? 2016, must have been 2016. That store, I had a card, because I'm pretty sure I had a card for a business that was in the area. I don't know if it was necessarily... Shit. I don't know if it was necessarily that store that I went to, that video game store. That wasn't really a video game store. It was a multimedia store, but it had a lot of video games in the back. I had the card, and we found the address, because it was right next to a parking, because you have to pay for parking. And we made it there. It was so awesome. Like, find the place again. But by that point, they weren't doing video games anymore. And I didn't go inside of the store, but I can just tell, because even though it was a lot of stuff, there were like still technology and everything, like maybe speakers, monitors, movies, and everything. But the store basically just turned into a clothing store, and I was just like, damn. And that section of like the place that we're at, because it's like a shopping, like a shopping district. Like, there's just like a lot of outdoor shops for like pretty much anything. And that one was like, I think, the toys and video games place. And so, if I had just gone like in a different direction, I'm pretty sure I could have found at least more video game stores, because there were a lot of them at the time, but I just didn't buy anything. And it sucks, because at that point I didn't have a job, so I couldn't like spend my own money on stuff. And it's funny, because I'm pretty sure not long after that I did get a job that ended up being my longest job that I ever had, until that place shut down. But yeah, you know, it's little stuff like that. Honestly, we're talking just about video games and everything. It's not bad, but you know, it's not good to dwell on the past. And I mean, I know it's something small and insignificant like video games, but sometimes people can dwell on stuff that's like much bigger. Like, I don't know, maybe not talking to like a friend for too long that you can't talk to anymore, or maybe missing out on a chance to go out with somebody that could have been your soulmate or something. I think those like are much bigger. Uh, so it's important just not to dwell on like the past. Look forward to the future. And I know it's a lot easier said than done. I know that's something that I struggle with a lot too. Um, I won't lie, I dwell on the past a lot, but it's not healthy. It's not good. You know, dwell on the future, because the future, as unpredictable as it may be, can still, you know, it can give a lot of people hope. It can give me hope. Because I mean, the past, we can all look at the past, but even then, the past is, our memories are, our memories are, can always trick us. You know, we can always make up stuff and change things, and that can become our new reality or our new memory. So don't dwell on the past. But again, uh, do as I say, not as I do, because I'll probably be like rolling over in my bed later tonight, and I'm gonna be thinking about something I did in the third grade or something. But damn, yeah, no, I am dwelling on it now. Man, why didn't I actually find PlayStation 1 games? Why didn't I find Mega Man Legends 1, 2, and 3? Or 1, 2, and Tron Bond? I think I remember around that same time. I'm pretty sure Tron Bond was a very expensive game at that point. But, I mean, the first couple of times that I went to it, because I was still like, maybe pre-2010, when maybe it might not have been as much money as it is. And if it was in a store where they just had surplus games and they didn't know what it was, because honestly, they had so many video games that were in bins, and literally I had a lady, because I'm pretty sure she thought I was stealing, and I think the second time that I was, I actually did steal. But that first time, there was a lady that was there, and she was like, because it was kind of a secluded part of the store, and she was there just to make sure that I guess I wasn't stealing anything the first time. And yeah, I remember her telling me it's like everything was like $3 like a piece. So it didn't matter if like, you know, there was like a game as common as like, you know, Pac-Man on the Atari 2600, and something as rare as Misadventures of Tron Bond. If it was there, it would have been $3. And you know what I was actually gonna buy too? They had a bunch of sealed Atari 5200 games, like a lot of them. I'm pretty sure it must have been like a pallet that they just put on the store and everything. I think I was gonna buy like a copy or two sealed games, and I'm pretty sure if I bought them, they wouldn't have been worth much. I think they were all copies of Dig Dug, and I ended up not buying it. They had a lot of systems too, and they seemed overpriced to me because, I mean, I had no money, but I think they had pretty good deals for a lot of stuff. Also, it's weird. This is a ship, and I don't know if it's in this game, but in Ratchet and Clank 3, those are your submarines. They kind of look like submarines. That design doesn't remind me of a ship in space. But yeah, I think now that I think about it, they had very nice, like, shit, what the fuck? They had, like, very nice console bundles. I'm pretty sure it was, like, what, $50, $60, $70? But, like, it came with, like, a system with, like, hookups with a couple games. They were sealed all nice and everything. And that store was nice. I know there was a couple other, like, vendors and stuff that honestly kind of acted like dicks. I remember one time there was a guy, there was a store, and there was, like, a retro duo or something. Or, I think one of those clone systems that can let you play Genesis and NES, which is a weird combination. But I found one of those, and I actually asked how much it cost. And I mean, maybe it could have been because I was a little kid. The dude heard what I said, and without saying anything, he just pointed to the little glass, the top of the glass thing where I was at. What's it called? It's don't tap the glass. Don't tap the glass. Like there was a glass case where they kept like product in and everything, and that's like dividing the customer between the seller. And he just pointed to the top of it, and there was like this like index paper signed, like index paper sized sheet, like all in handwriting, like telling you the prices of everything. And I looked through it, I combed through it, and that thing was not on there. So not only did the dude not answer my question, like the dude literally could have just told me what it was. And I mean, granted, I could have probably told the guy like, "Hey, it's not on here. Like, how much is that?" I didn't have any money on me, so I wasn't gonna buy shit. But yeah, no, I think about stuff like that sometimes. Because now there's only like the same couple of video game stores here, and there's not a lot of variety. I have to go far and wide to find video games for stuff I may or may not be able to buy. And pretty much all of that just to say that I looked up how much Misadventures of Tron Bond costs now, and it goes for, on average, like several $1,000s. Which is a shame. I would like to own a copy if I could. Shit. Just so I can play it on a PS1, but to be honest, that's probably not going to happen. The more... it's kind of expensive, this route, but one thing that you can still do is either, you can burn a copy of the game and play it. I mean, you don't own it, but if you do that, you can still play it on original hardware, which I would say is better than emulating it. But if you do emulate it, before Sony reversed the decision to close the PSP and no, the PS Vita and the PS3 store, I believe you're still going to be able to buy Misadventures of Tron Bond is a PS1 classic, I think. Which is like, I think, a $15 game if you buy it. And even though it's emulation, if you play it on a PSP with like TV output, you can play it in the original resolution of in the original resolution of a PS1. If you got like a TV that you can plug it in, a CRT or a scaler. Let's go. Alright. I'm ready. Hit the big red button.
Thank you for selecting
It just
our
explodes while I'm in it.
self-destruct feature. Vessel annihilation
I'm pretty
sequence
sure
initiated.
if I don't
Please
make it,
remove
I
all
have to
personal
replay the whole thing.
belongings.
This whole bit. I'm just gonna try to avoid all the enemies. I'm just gonna avoid them.
Perhaps you didn't hear me. This vessel will self-destruct.
Please no.
In a matter
Please
of
no.
seconds.
Yes.
Please evacuate.
I think it wasn't that bad. Yeah, look, see it? It doesn't look like it would be a ship. It does look like a taxi. But because of the engines, it's like, yeah, no, this looks like a submarine. I wouldn't be surprised if later in the game, these get reused as submarines. They definitely do in Ratchet and Clank 3. I can tell you that they do in Ratchet and Clank 3. Although not in Commando.
This is Darla Gratch reporting live from Blackwater City. We've just learned that Captain Quark will be presenting the grand prize at the Intergalactic Hoverboard Championship.
This model, VC Face, if you guys don't know, I can do hand movements if my model has like hands and stuff. If I use a one of these little devices, what's it called? I'm brain farting. A leap motion. If I use a leap motion, it works with VC Face and I can do hand movements. The problem is that I've experienced with VC Face, it doesn't work that well most of the time. It's all jittery and stuff, and it's good to have like a free option like this. But I think if I'm going to use like a leap motion, I would use like a different software. I would use like Muppet or something. But I have it, and I actually have I told my sister this. I call it a choker. Basically, there's like these little things that you put on your neck to put your phone on, and you can like record. Like basically you use your neck as like the holder for like this a phone holder. And I actually 3D printed at my job like a thing to hold a clip for the leap motion so you can clip it onto your shirt. And the thing is big enough that it can clip onto the phone grip or the phone clip that goes on your neck. And so I was actually using that for a little bit because so I can like keep the leap motion stable. Because on a shirt, it gets a little stable if it's just like a cotton shirt or a cheap shirt. Like it moves around with me better, and it doesn't sag to like one side. And I was using that, and I think the performance was better. But I just haven't gotten around to 3D printing another clip. It's not broken or anything, but it's slightly low quality. The printer that I have at work was an XYZ printer,
I got some great bargains for you.
and all the filament that I have was like old and cracked and stuff, and it's not the best. It's not the best printer. The slicer on it sucks, and even though you can use new third-party slicers and stuff, I need a computer hooked up to it. And the only one that I can hook up is my personal one. And if I'm printing like a long print, like it's not something that I can do because I'm only there for like a couple hours a day. And these prints can take a while. And also if it's not good quality anyway because of the printer, like why bother? I do have two 3D printers now. I have a I have a DaVinci printer. I have a DaVinci Mini that I got. And I was very excited about getting it. And I used it like maybe once, and then I realized how crappy it is. And I have plans right now to rebuild it as with another motherboard with a different hot end. But I haven't gotten around to buying a kit. I have pretty much everything I need, like a soldering station. I mean, maybe I can get some wire or something, but as long as I buy a kit for the 3D printer, I can convert it, like a RAMS conversion. There's a lot of write-ups on a lot of forums that I can use to help me with that. Shit. Go. But I did have another printer, and this printer, it's kind of weird how I got it. I was out one day to go into IKEA, the only IKEA we have in the state. And on the way, I decided to go look up 3D printers on OfferUp because I know I've missed a couple opportunities to get some secondhand Ender 3s for like very good prices, and some other printers too, like less than 200, maybe $100. And I saw somebody was selling a 4 parts monoprice mini Delta, and this had actually been a printer that had caught my eye. You know, Teaching Tech on YouTube, he made a video about the printer, a review, and then he made a video about all the modifications that you can do to it to make it like better than stock, because it's kind of subpar. If you do this, it becomes a very nice tiny printer. Unfortunately, though, it's a tiny printer, but it's a nice Delta printer. So if Delta printing is something that you're interested in, and it's very nice. It's a very mesmerizing type of like 3D printing. Because all the printers that I have are like Cartesian or something. Like it's like a 3-axis printer, whereas the other one is like a 3-axis any direction kind of thing that prints on a circle instead of a square. But yeah, it was 4 parts. I got it. I had to buy a power supply for it. I had to buy a new sticker for the bed. No, I didn't buy a sticker. I bought a glass bed for it. And then I bought a new nozzle. And then I just got some filament for it. And then I had to buy an SD card for it because for some reason that printer, the motherboard on it, only works with like a certain type of like SD card. It's not compatible with all SD cards, micro SD cards. And all the ones that I had didn't work. So I had to buy one too. And once I got it, I can print, but I couldn't print with like a USB or anything. I couldn't connect to Octoprint or anything like that. And I was concerned because not only was I not going to be able to do any of that stuff, but if I had to do any updates to the printer, or if I had to do like any corrections to it or anything, I actually assumed that I needed it to be connected to a computer to make adjustments. And so I actually paid somebody way too much locally to fix it and just put a new micro USB port on it. I went to a phone repair shop, and it sucks because I needed a place that could do soldering for me, and that's not something that a lot of like phone repair places do. Typically, if you go to a phone repair place, they're usually just a place that will swap parts for you. Like, oh, you broke your screen? Okay, cool, we'll replace your screen for you. Like, that's just a matter of, replacing stuff. Anybody can do that. And it's nice that there's like people that can do that stuff for you. But if you have like something that's like more serious, that's not Legos, like, okay, a component on the motherboard failed, or this thing failed. It's just a matter of replacing the parts, but none of these places do like any of those kinds of repairs. So thankfully I managed to find one where they do offer soldering, micro soldering specifically, because these motherboards are so tiny. And they quoted me, I think, 80 to 100 bucks, and they ended up charging me, like, I think after taxes, like 180. And it sucked because it was a far drive. They charged me that much, and I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then when I got home, I realized that they didn't give me my power supply, so I had to drive back, and I was pretty pissed at that point. And during that time, I actually bought a silent motherboard, a brand new one, from a guy that actually sells a bunch of replacement parts for that printer specifically, but also another Monoprice mini printer that they have. I think it's a Monoprice Mini Select. And they're very small 3D printers. I think they have a print size. The other one has like a print size of 110 by 110, or 100 by 100 millimeters by 100 millimeters. The Mini Delta is slightly smaller because it's a Delta. It's 110 millimeters by like 100, no, 100 millimeters by 110 millimeters. The other one's 110 millimeters by 110 millimeters. And they're cool printers, but like stock, they're kind of bad. They kind of have some design issues because they're technically not like monoprice printers. They're rebranded printers. That's how all their 3D printers are. Shit. Oh, this is weird. Like the steam hits you, but it doesn't do any damage or anything like that. Anyway, I'd bought a mini a motherboard replacement that's actually a silent board because that was the only one that was available. And basically, there's some capacitors in them and stuff that basically make the operation of like the stepper motors and everything, the motors that actually control the movement of the actual machine, the hot ends and stuff. It basically makes it really, really quiet. But the guy, like, it took him several months to get that motherboard shipped to me, and it sucked. I think, what is it? The male version of a Karen, a Kyle. I'll admit, I kind of acted. I didn't act good. I was like, dang man, like I kept emailing the guy constantly. It's like, okay, is it done yet? Am I gonna get it? It's not gonna come soon. Can I get a refund still? Because I paid with PayPal, and I think I only have 90 days, like, to dispute. Like, if I can't get a refund from the seller, like, I have 90 days to dispute it with PayPal so that they can give me my money back. And it exceeded the 90 days, so I'm like, well, am I gonna get anything? And eventually I got it. And it sucked because I actually paid more money to get the motherboard, the old one, fixed, and I only used it temporarily, because then I switched to the quiet board. But it sucked because then I switched to the quiet board, and it actually didn't work with the custom firmware that I wanted to use on it, because I guess there was an error that would only happen if you have that quiet one. And so I brought it up to the attention of the maker of the firmware, and unfortunately it's pretty much unresolved. Um, the only way I was able to fix it was by by lowering firmwares, which is a bit unfortunate because each firmware update changes stuff and it gives you more things and everything. So I'm technically at a downgraded version, but it works. The only problem with mini deltas, or mine specifically, is that it's printing smaller, like objects smaller than they're supposed to be. There's like a certain margin of error, like printing size. Like if you print a cube that's like 10 millimeters by 10 millimeters all around, the printer could potentially print it by like 8 by 8. So it's a little smaller. So if you're printing figures and stuff, it's not a big deal, but if you're printing stuff that's supposed to be like, you know, close to the size that you're designing it, like very, very close, like that's bad. And so I got some lubricant, like oil and stuff, to like relube like all the bearings and everything, and as well to make all the moving parts like smooth and everything. I have to clean it, and I have everything. I just forgot where I left it. I haven't been able to do any of it, or more specifically, I kind of lost the drive to start 3D like tinkering and doing 3D printing stuff. So I will definitely have to make time to try to do that. Once I can fix it, relubricate it, and then make the corrections that I need to do to make it print properly to the right size and everything, and I can start printing again comfortably. And the quality of the printer is very nice, to be honest. Whenever it prints stuff, it's because of a lot of combinations, like the nice hot end, the new nozzle that I got for it, but also just the quality of the PLA that I'm using, the filament. Like I thought I'm just using some cheap filament from Amazon, like a recommended one, Hatchbox. But damn, this Hatchbox one that I got was nice. It's like an orange color. And the only thing that I have to do now, I made an enclosure for my 3D printer. I wanted to go to IKEA again to get some the coffee table, like the coffee table stands, the lack. But the time that I went to IKEA, the one time that I went to IKEA, they didn't have any. And so what I did was I actually just bought some coffee tables, or like the end tables, at Walmart that are very similar to the IKEA ones, but slightly smaller. And I bought 2 of those, and I went ahead and I did the modification with it. Although I'll be honest, I ended up not 3D printing. I ended up not designing my own brackets to connect the end table to like the end table and everything to make my enclosure. I decided to just download some on Thingiverse, and while it worked out, the problem is I'm pretty much on my own as far as like uh, making making how to attach my own acrylic or like wood to the sides of it to actually make the enclosure part. Because basically all I did was connect the pieces to connect the pieces to put like 2 end tables on top of each other and make sure they're properly secure. So I ended up buying some foam that I think I'm gonna use, but I think I'm just gonna go with wood. Some wood, and then the front I'm gonna make an acrylic door. And then I have some LEDs that I bought, but I need to buy some adapters so I can make them like at a 90-degree angle. And then once I attach them to the top, I can make an enclosure or something, or like an adapter so I can attach my Raspberry Pi. It has my Octoprint software so I can connect to it to the internet. And I pretty much have it. And I think the only thing I actually need is I do need a webcam to monitor everything. So I think I might just use see if I can get a HD webcam for my Raspberry Pi, like the Raspberry Pi camera. That might work. But yeah, 3D printing is fun, but it can be tedious. If you have a subpar printer, like you're pretty much gonna be tinkering with it more than you will be printing it. And depending on which printer you have, like my XYZ printer, like it was not fun. And the ones that I have at work, which are also XYZ, those are not fun to tinker with. Like my boss kind of encouraged me to start printing and like just using up all this stuff, and to be honest, like it's so bad that I don't want to. I do not want to. But my printer, despite the problems that I was having, I ironed them out, and honestly, like it is very fun to use. So I do wish maybe I might be able to actually tomorrow. I might tomorrow. I'll find out where my stuff is. I'll clean it. Yeah, if I get everything working, I'll start printing again. I may have to get a new printing mat though, like a surface sheet, just cause what I'm using right now, the glass. It works, but I still have to use like hot glue and stuff, even though I have a heated bed. That way I can get stuff to stick, otherwise it'll go all over the place. Look at all these skid marks. Damn it. Oh, cool. That's it. Oh, damn it. Okay, let's quit. Try this again. It's easier to quit than to just lose. Here we go. You have to get your lead early on, or else you will lose and you won't get first place. Shit. Yeah, no, if you don't get the lead early on and you like die, chances of you winning are very, very low. So I'd rather just quit. If I can like maintain first place, like by the second lap, like that's how I know I won. Oh, by the way, that was it. That's where the exploit is. Those crates that you saw up there. If I go and I activate the taunter or something, and I go over there to that spot, infinite glitches, infinite bolts. So there's that, but I won't do it now because I'd be streaming for like 2 days. But again, I don't think I'm gonna do that right now. As long as I don't do it, I can always go back and do the taunter glitch. But I will instead just try to get the rhino on my new game plus. There you go. I'll just do it when I beat the game the first time. There are a lot of weapons. Like I think when I played Ratchet and Clank and beat it for the first time, I didn't even use the rhino. Or actually didn't. No, I didn't use the rhino. I used every other weapon except for the rhino, and even then, I don't think I was able to like just beat the boss, Chairman Drek, with just the rhino alone. I think I still needed like my other weapons.
Captain Quark here. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce this
Sorry, I had to
year's
crack my
HoverCon
knuckles
Intergalactic
and
Champions. Let's give it up for
my
newcomers.
elbows.
Ratchet and Clank.
Hey, look, that's us.
Today's winners will take home a brand new professional grade Model T15 Platinum Zoomerator. Manufactured by Gadgetron, this hoverboard drive delivers more lift, speed, and maneuverability than any other anti-grav device on the market. Well, folks, that's all the time we have. Tonight, remember to set your info bots to the Quark Classic channel for tonight's episode of Dogfight Over Death Canyon, starring yours truly. Thank you and have a Quark-tastic day.
The twisting here is weird. I'm pretty sure when that cutscene was happening, it was he was like behind it. He must have been like shrunken and the camera like zoomed in on him and stuff, but he was there. Okay. There's still something else I have to do on this planet. 2 things, I think. Oh no, locate Captain Quark, yeah. So locate Captain Quark. I think this is the last part of this stage. Shit. Oh, by the way, oh yes, it's a good thing I did that. So you see, I fell down and I landed on water, right? Because there was water. I landed on the water and then I got eaten. In every other Ratchet and Clank game, I would have just fallen through that. And I still would have been screaming. I think there's other parts in the game where I can fall through and I disappear. In this case, I didn't disappear. But if I do disappear, there's still like water splashing and like the screams stop because I went under the water. Any other game, it gets treated like if I fall into the abyss, like in the sky or something, and I just keep falling, keep screaming. Okay. I'm getting a bit tired, unfortunately. So this is gonna be the last part that I'll be streaming, and I might stream again tomorrow if I have some time. If not, I will definitely do it sometime this week because I do want to stream so I can keep playing this game. I have nothing else lined up, to be honest. I think I'll just be playing this unless I can get my friend to play something with me. He's working on his own VTube model, but that is a work in progress for him. Oh, no, I have to go up here. Come on, there we go. Yeah, and like I said earlier, I do apologize right now. My it's sleep hours right now. Sleep hours in the Gene household, and I don't want to wake anybody up. So after this, I'm done. Normally, I'll try to stream earlier. That way, I can at least be a little louder. Come on. Okay. So I'm pretty sure this part I have to defeat. I think I just have to open this gate. If there's anything else here? No. There's no piranhas or anything like that. Okay. Just had to open that gate. Oops, sorry. And then go back here and fill it up. I didn't even know I had this. Where did I even get this? I forgot where I got this. Was this from... This might have been from the Clank level. Also weird. When I'm underwater, it turns blue, but I'm pretty sure in the rest of the games there is no like filter or overlay. Like you see how the water is dark, like that's pretty much just what you see underwater, that dark color. But in this game it turns blue, which is weird. Also, like I said, it's weird to me, but in every game after 2, you can just breathe. I mean, there is no like, you know, you don't have to hold your breath to swim. Whereas in this game, early on, especially at this level, you have to hold your breath. You get oxygen mask later in the game, and that's what makes it so you can spend like eternity underwater. But for now, like this maze, I have to hit it and get through it while spending the least amount of time of underwater for this bit. Shit, messed up. For this bit right here. So I need to spend the most time underwater for this bit right here. Oh, not this bit, this next upcoming bit. You see, I'm getting higher and higher. And I have to go underwater. This is probably fine, to be honest. Oh, no, that wasn't. Okay, that's fine. Whatever, that's fine. Okay, we're climbing higher. Come on. Alright, make it, please. There we go, yes, I made it. I just flooded an entire underground lab or something. Who's the friend VTuber? Good question. He's my friend. He's my friend. Darth Medius, but he's only active on Twitter right now. I don't have his active drop, but he's working on his ref. Actually, wait, what am I saying? No. It's Jack the Rabbit. Jack the Rabbit, that's his name. Sorry, I gave his other hat. Yeah. He's working on his ref and everything. He's got his like ref for his persona, and I believe he settled on a model. I think he's getting the 3D model done. I think. But yeah, that's being worked on. I actually asked him because he suggested a game on our Discord, a co-op game to play, and I was actually gonna buy it if he was down to buy it, and I think the condition was that we'd get to stream it, and since he didn't have a model yet, and I do, I would be streaming it, and he would just be a PNG VTuber, because let's just pay the bouncer. Oh, I got almost 20,000 bolts. That's not bad. if we were like to like play like in collab and stuff, I don't know how to.
Ratchet and Clank
I don't
had
have
it,
like
you know,
2D
from the
models or like
moment.
3D
Yes,
models
I know
together in
you
like the
are.
same OBS.
Yes, and thank the
So I was just
galaxy
gonna
you
do like a
found me.
PNG
Huh?
anyway. So I
Listen,
figured I might as well.
I'll
If
be
he's gonna like
fixed to
play with me,
destroy our
he
planet.
can just
Ratchet,
show up as a
no.
PNG, since
Great.
that's what's probably
Does
gonna
that mean
happen
we go
anyway if we like
hoverboarding
play
now?
together,
My
or
friend,
if I go on his stream.
we're all in grave danger. And I believe
I
that
never made a
together
debut.
we can put a stop
I
to
didn't
this
know if he
madness.
was gonna do one.
Together.
Which to
You
be
want
honest, like
our help?
Look, Ratchet,
if
I've been keeping an eye on
you're
you.
not
And I've
streaming to
never
like an
seen anyone
audience,
with
if you
such
don't have an
raw
audience, like
talent.
I don't think a debut is a
You
good
are a
idea
true
because
hero in the making.
you're not
Really?
really gonna be streaming to
You mean
anybody. It's
I
better
could
to
be
just
famous?
make your stuff, have
Yes,
your stuff
sisters.
ready, and just start streaming. And eventually, like maybe if you get like a
What
large
makes one
audience that's
man
watching,
toil in
or just you
obscurity
make
while
a little
another becomes
community,
a hero? Is it
then
speed,
maybe you can do
compassion,
a debut or
determination,
something like
or
and
just
sing
pure
some
blind
karaoke,
luck?
explain your
Wise
lore
men
and
through the
stuff like
ages have
that, which
struggled with that very
might be
question.
kind of cool.
But
That's
Captain
something that I
Quark
hopefully
knows the
would like
secret.
to make in the future.
That's why
But
he's been able to defeat more despots, rescue more
yeah,
damsels in distress, and save more civilizations than any other
I don't even know
hero in
which
the
game
galaxy.
he recommended to play.
Now is your opportunity to see if you've got the stuff heroes are made of. This infobot contains coordinates to Quark's secret base. Can you quickly conquer Quark's killer cannonade of confounded contraptions? Can you quickly can you quickly
I'm not falling
just
asleep.
make
I
your
am
way through the
yawning, but
defenses
I'm
to the
not
center of
falling
the
asleep.
base.
I just looked over at
Prove
my
yourself.
model and it's like
Learn the secret
going
and earn
crazy
your
on me.
place in
I mentioned this
galactic
earlier, but
history.
I actually gotta
Consult
take
your
my
doctor
glasses
before
off.
attempting any strenuous exercise. Not responsible for tender dismemberment.
I
Ill
mentioned
results
this
may be
earlier, but I wear glasses, and my model doesn't have glasses. I might try to get some glasses for him,
Meet me at
but
meet me
I
at
have to wear my glasses
Hey,
so I can
Captain
actually see.
Ratchet. What do you think?
And
We won't fail
the
you, sir.
eye tracking
We
works
promise.
better that way, but at the same time, I still need to see. So I guess for a game like Ratchet and Clank, it doesn't matter too much. But if it's like an RPG that I'm playing, it might be a good idea to still wear my glasses. An hour and 30 minutes I've been streaming. That's not bad. I normally try to hit like an hour and 30 minutes. I haven't exceeded that much, honestly. But I feel like that's a big number. Just something digestible for like people that might stumble upon this and want to see the VOD. I didn't know this. I thought there was a setting on Twitch that can like keep my VODs like forever, like YouTube. Like once I stream it, it's always there. But I guess I didn't have that, and so I streamed like for a solid month, and I had all my VODs. I was only streaming like once or twice a week, but I had a couple VODs, and then I showed up on my Twitch when I was gonna stream again, and I'm like, hey, they're gone. Like I thought I had that setting. I don't know if that's still a thing or not. Uh, that was a bit unfortunate. But yeah, the same at because I have a Twitter and everything. I think I might try to make like a link tree or something. I have my YouTube channel, so I might just try to take my VODs because I have them all saved. I'll try to upload them on YouTube just for the sake of preservation, just so I can keep them. Okay, so I said this is gonna be the last thing I do, but really, this is gonna be the last thing I do. I won the hoverboard challenge, so I'm gonna present my trophy to Skid McMark's manager. I'm gonna get the mouse control thing, and that will lead me to the last world for tonight. And I don't know what planet it was, but I think this is Quark's obstacle course, and it's oops, sorry, it's weird. Earlier I mentioned how like Ratchet and Clank 1 is like the less linear of the Ratchet and Clank games. There's a lot of like open-ended like branches to explore like in game, like in the worlds. There's backtracking and stuff, and there's usually never like just one path to take. But the one on Quark, like the obstacle course that you
Are you
have
gonna
to do,
represent me?
that is, I believe, like the only like linear level in the game. I think.
Cool
Well, actually,
helmet.
no. I take it back.
That is a
There's like I
sonic
think
summoner. It is
one or
used to
two. Like the
attract
space
sand
station. I
mice.
think later in the game.
Right,
That's a
and
linear
it's
path.
so
There's not a lot of them. The majority of them are like 2 or 3 branches. And then Ratchet and Clank going with Commando, that's like I think 2, maybe 3, but the majority is just maybe 2 branches if you get any. And then Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal, yeah, it's like maybe 2 or 3, and the majority are just a one branch linearly you get. Oh, and I didn't turn on the subtitles, so I have no idea what this is saying.
If the mouse likes you, it may offer a bit of high caliber
Okay, so it's just a remote control mouse, so it can just help you. Just help you with like some enemies. Oh, okay. I thought this was like something that can help you with like gold bolts or something. I think there's a gold bolt up here, but I can't get to it. Well, anyway, I got this. Do you have people? I don't know if that's what Clank said earlier. Jump, 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 jump to the beat. Jump, 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 jump. But I think I might do in my off time. I gotta clean my desk, it's very dirty. But I want to reapply thermal paste to my graphics card. Because I got it used like a year ago? A year. Was it a year ago or 2 years ago? It's like 3 years ago. And it was technically already I think a year or two. It was a 1070. A 1070 Ti Mini. I do want to replace the thermal paste on it. Okay. I'm just gonna go to the Quark level. Is it gonna follow me? No, it just stays there. I'm just gonna go to the Quark level and save here. Planet Umbris. I wonder for like other VTubers, like I have like ears and stuff like this, if like when they're not streaming, like do you think they're like just sitting on their desk like doing random stuff and like just out of nowhere they start like just like shaking to try to like shake their ears and stuff? Said having we
Sorry, still having trouble. Tell me later.
Later? We might be dead by then.
What?
All right, Clank, let's get going.
Boom. Alright, we're done. We'll just save really quick. Yeah. Boom. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. For anyone that stumbles upon this VOD, I hope you enjoy. To anybody that was here, thank you so much. I do plan on playing the game. I do want to beat it and hopefully try to see if I can go ahead and I can New Game Plus it as well. I did want to try to see if I can later on, maybe when it's when I get New Game Plus, to try to practice some moves and stuff to see if I can go ahead and I can actually try to speedrun the game. I know speedrunning the PS2 version is different than speedrunning the PS3 version, which is the one that's actually used for speedrunning, or at least the one that like has the top high scores on it. But yeah, I wanna keep playing the game, so I don't have a schedule or anything. I pretty much just stream when I want to at this point. I haven't been using the schedule that I set for myself on Discord, on Twitch. But I think I'm definitely gonna try to stream tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow midday. And I'll try to play a little bit longer. But I think I'm gonna try to see if I can stream regularly this week. So I can at least try to beat the game. Try to New Game Plus it, and see if I can go ahead and I can unlock all the achievements. And if I can complete the game 100%, or even before 100% it, I'll switch over to Ratchet & Clank 2. Because I do want to play Ratchet & Clank 2 as well. That one is my favorite of the Ratchet & Clank games from the PS2 era. I loved Ratchet & Clank 2. So I can't wait to play that one. But for now, I'm getting through 1 and enjoying it. But yes, I actually can't wait for 2. But anyway, thank you so much. Good night. And I will catch everyone on the next time. Okay. Bye bye.